Okay, YouTubers, welcome. This is my small hydroponic setup in the Caribbean. As you can see, it's fairly small. I got 30 spaces for lettuce and cabbage. This is cabbage on the right here. In the center, it's lettuce, obviously. I got two little seedlings coming up here. That's lettuce, and that I planted the seed actually. And that's a little bit different that we try to do here with my neighbor. We actually put a little bit of soil, a little bit of dirt in with cocoa fiber. Let me show you. These are 2-inch pipes, and here they sell out. Oh, I can't get it out. 20-foot length. I cut it to 6.5 feet. Okay, so here's what the bottom looks like. It's cocoa fiber with a little bit of dirt, and I put some pebbles in there just for good measure. That's just this particular setup. Over here with the lettuce looks a little bit weak right now because it's so damn hot. But we're in the Caribbean and it's February, and everywhere else it's really cold, so I ain't complaining. Here I actually use these plastic cups, you can see, and you can see how nice the roots are coming out. And you should see these plants at just before sunset. I mean, they come around and they just look perfect. So the one thing that I did here that I would like to point out to anyone who is watching it, that I used mostly recycled material to finish this project. I used, oh, that's Yuri. He's also interested in hydroponics. I used pellets that I found by the side of the road. That gives me my base. That's obviously micro tubing for drip irrigation. That's some that I had and I bought. I also bought the pipes, but my hose coming from my pump, again, that's some that I found by the side of the road. All the wood material that you see here is recycled. The netting I bought at the store, but that really wasn't expensive. Anyhow, okay, here's the rest of the setup. So what I got here, I got a couple of tomato plants, as you can tell, and I already have flowers coming up. Now this whole project is less than 4 weeks old. So and it took me, the cabbages are maybe 2 weeks old. And I planted the seedlings for the cabbages. But the tomato plants, they're coming out really nice. I planted some garlic that already started shooting in my vegetable bin where I keep my garlic and onion. And yeah, you can see more garlic here. And I got some strawberries. They're still thinking about it, but actually they are surviving. They need to figure out which way to go. There is a sweet bell pepper. There is another one there, and I had 2 more. That one is doing really bad, so I have to replace that. And this is just a regular bucket with that's actually a hand shower that I fitted to the bucket, and it has a very interesting siphoning effect because I have a kink in the pipe, so water accumulates in there, and air accumulates in there. You can actually hear the siphoning right now. It's just raining. It's not something I did on purpose, but so this is my tank, and I'm only using an 18-gallon toter tank. There's my pump in there. Now I'll tell you a little bit more about the pump in a minute. But the plumbing is real simple. I didn't glue any of the plumbing. These ends are just fitted on the pipe, but they stay there because there is no pressure. I drilled this with a hole saw, and I drove that fitting right in that cap, and it worked out really good. I was just experimenting with this, but as you can tell that it is actually working out pretty good. The point that I'm trying to make here is that you can actually start it really inexpensive. Just collect your material, figure out where you're gonna put your hydroponic setup, and you can just work with these little cups. I gotta cut a little bit bigger holes at the bottom because the roots are not quite coming out on the cabbages. Not the way I would like it to. You can see the water there. These are little cabbages that I got from my neighbor, and yeah, for the most part they are doing okay. They were really tiny when I planted them, and I'm also trying to plant some seeds. But one of the problems that I'm having is that the seeds are kind of old that we are getting here, so I gotta get newer seeds. So this is the pump. This is identical to the one that I'm using in there, and I'm just showing that to you so you can actually, you know, get an idea of what might work in what setup. This is a Model A little giant pump. Of course it's 115 volt, 1.1 amps. I'm pointing it out that it's 115 volt because we are in the Caribbean, so standard is 220, but I'm actually running this whole thing off of a small solar system for the most part. It's solar system is it's a mixed breed. I got from Harbor Tools, I got their standard 45 watt setup. I put it up on the roof, but I hooked up two of them. You can't really see it from here, you can kind of get it. I hooked up two of them, so I'm producing 90 watt per day, and this pump is a little too strong for it, so I can only run in part of the day. But for them, I would say I get my electricity that I need for the pump, approximately 60% of it, and the rest I just use Dominica, whatever they call in here. That's the company, and the fittings are real simple. The drain is very simple, and I have garden hose attached to the pump. You can see coming out. It's going up that way. It's running on the side. And then it goes into the drip irrigation stuff, and I'll show you how this is how it shoots in the pipes. And these are not glued either, so I can just take it off and I can change it, which is nice because I can expand. Actually, I'm thinking about expanding. I got 3 more pipes already coming, and I'm gonna just take these fittings, install it on the other pipe. The next setup is gonna be right here, and then I'll hook the old pipes up to this, and so I'm gonna try to shoot the water all the way up there, and then I'll be coming down here into these pipes. But I have to move my tank because I don't think the pump is gonna be strong enough to shoot it up all the way, so I'm gonna try to position my tank right here. These are my drains coming out. These are actually ice cream, used ice cream containers that I'm using for this, and this for the tomato plant. This is just an old, it may have been a bleach container, a 1 gallon size, but it's always just how you set up your plumbing, and you can tell it's real simple. I just used a little washer, I drilled a hole. I tried to drill a real tight hole for this fitting, shoved it right in there. Also, these PVC pipes, they are left over from another project. I always try to recycle everything. This is also another pallet that I used. Just some of the material I get by the side of the road. Some people just throw things out, they don't think about it, but you know what is valuable or not. Anyhow, this is the project. One other thing that I'm trying to do right now, and that one is really not looking really good at this point. Upside down tomatoes. Those are again recycled buckets, and I planted tomatoes at the bottom, and I tried to do some tried to plant some strawberries. That bucket I had to change the whole setup yesterday because the dirt was too impacting it. So I put some vermiculite in it, mixed with some regular soil and some cocoa fiber. So I'm hoping it will survive. But in the next video I'll tell you about the solutions that I'm using, because that's also very simple. Also look for my other video that I made. That's a short one and silent one of my friend Mano. His setup is big. He's growing 1200 lettuce at one time. But again, he's using it a little bit different than people would do it in the US or in Australia, what I've seen on YouTube. But you know, we just use what we got here. Try to make it cheap, inexpensive. We don't have to go out and buy expensive kits, and you don't have to either. You can do your own setup out of recycled materials. Anyhow, that's all. I hope you enjoyed. If you have questions, post it. I'll be happy to answer anything, or if you have any inputs or advice, we always look for that. Anyhow, thank you. Enjoy. Good luck hydroponic.